If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Alright, Lil Baby just released 2 new singles, and this means more than just him releasing 2 new songs to his fans. And why that is the case and what this means for his next album dropping is what we're going to go into today. So let's jump straight into this. So let's get like the basics first. Lil Baby dropped 2 new songs today, also accompanied by 2 videos. Those 2 songs are Right On, which I think is an amazing, like more high energy type of track that I think is gonna do, even though right now it's not doing better than the other one, but I think is gonna do better commercially since it is somewhat of a, more upbeat hype track. And the video is also crazy with the, 20 Rolls Royces, rolling through his hood. Anyway, the second one is In a Minute, and by far this is my favorite one of the 2. Now, if you're like a Baby fan, you've probably seen the leaks of the last few days of a Pound Cake remix by Baby. I've personally been listening to that on like a MP3 or like on Spotify on like a podcast since it wasn't out officially. So this has been around for quite some time, and I was really hyping up this track, and now it dropped as like the full version. So I'm really happy about that. We got an amazing video with that as well, and this is more, as the title already says, it's a Pound Cake remix, so obviously not going to be like super hype, but more like in more introspective kind of slower track. But Baby did amazing on this one, by far my favorite out of the 2. So go listen to In a Minute and also watch that video. Also, I forgot to mention that Right On was obviously also one of the leaks that has been going on for quite some time now, so you've probably heard them already, but it's just great to have them on streaming. Now, these 2 songs are not just any 2 new songs, because we're going to go over a couple of tweets that I went over in the last video I made on this already, but they mean, they kind of view it in a different light now that these 2 new singles have dropped. And also want to go a little bit into some of the lyrics on these 2 new tracks that might also hint at, something more coming. So let's go into this. So I want to go over the tweets that Baby has composed over the last like 2 to 3 months that kind of, hint towards a new album dropping. First of all, we went over this in that other video, so go check that one out if you haven't yet. But on February 1st, he tweeted, "Album almost done, new music on the way though." So new music on the way. We just got the confirmation with these 2 new singles dropping, obviously, but also we have the information that the album was almost done back in February, so at some point it's gotta drop. He also went on to say, "Who the hardest youngins in Atlanta shooting videos and ready to work on March 10th. So it's likely that he shot those 2 new videos after people then reached out to him and wanted to work with him. So this all kind of like is clicking after we've now heard those 2 new tracks. On March 14th as well, he tweeted, "It's gonna be a nasty summer." Again, kind of teasing that something from him is coming this summer, and that he's again taken over. And also on the same day, I think like a couple of hours later, he tweeted "My Turn" again, referring to his 2020 just big ass album "My Turn," that elevated him to yet another big level of like the realms of hip hop, and so this is kind of like a reference to that, saying like, oh, it's my turn again now. And then, also on March 14th, right when he dropped that "My Turn Again" tweet, he tweeted, "Drop a video every few weeks until." And in the other video I made, I already went over what this could mean. I said that, until what? Obviously, till his new album drops. So he said that he was going to drop a video every few weeks until the album drops. And, the fact that we just got 2 new singles with 2 new videos is obviously playing right into that theory and into that release plan. So these 2 new videos could be part of the plan that he's kind of laid out over the past few months for us now, talking about a new album coming from him, and they would fit right in with that, a video dropping every few weeks until the album drops. He said it's going to be a nasty summer, so we can likely expect this album to release in summer. So we still have like 2-3 months to go until he could possibly release that. The Voice of the Heroes dropped in June of 2021, so likely that'll also be a time around then when Lil Baby could drop his solo album, and that means we're also going to get a lot more videos and singles until then, because as he said, he's dropping new videos every few weeks until. Now, we know a couple of things about this new album. First of all, there has to be a distinction made between the new solo album, the new studio solo album, and his third one, and then also Lamborghini Boys, because Lamborghini Boys is still that mixtape that is somewhere out there in the air that was supposed to drop in May of 2020, but they never dropped because he said he wanted to wait till COVID was over, and that mixtape was only going to feature people that own a Lamborghini on there. We've heard leaks from that, we've heard rumors from that, but never got any official confirmation. And then there is also the solo album that he's also teased as being like a big masterpiece, and him really taking the time to work on that, and also saying that he's writing every lyric on the new album instead of just freestyling it like he used to do. So that is a, interesting fact about the differentiation has to be made between Lamborghini Boys, the mixtape, and this new solo album. But other than that, we don't really have a lot of information on the solo album, other than it is likely dropping this summer. Now, also what we can tell from these new 2 singles is, now this is just my theory, obviously, but this is what I like to believe. Because he dropped these 2 in one day, I think he wants to showcase us 2 different sides of Lil Baby. On one side, like the really hype, just Lil Baby that can go in and spit some bars, get everybody hyped up, and people going like, yo man, this man is crazy, like he did on Right On, and he wanted to prove that again and drop a, really hard video with all the Rolls Royces in there. So that was the purpose of Right On. And then In a Minute was the Baby that proved that he can get a bit more introspective, talk about deeper stuff, and just kind of, to do a Pound Cake remix is like you're hopping on one of the most legendary instrumentals of all time, and that also means that you gotta prove something, and you gotta kind of reflect on what your role as like an artist is. And if that is the side of Lil Baby that he wants to showcase on In a Minute, or Pound Cake remix as I always call it, then I think that's the purpose that was supposed to serve, and that is definitely a direction that I would like Baby to go in. If we get more of these In a Minute type style tracks on the actual album, I think that we're going to be set, kind of like what he did with Emotionally Scarred, or like Hurtin' on My Turn. I think those were like tracks that stood out as not fitting into that just more hype track around there. So yeah, 2 new Baby songs, Right On and In a Minute, dropped today with new videos. Let me know what you think about this. I'm also dropping my first reactions to this for channel members only, so go make sure you are a channel member to get all the exclusive information and content. So that's just my thoughts on this. Now let me know what you think about this. What do you think of the new 2 singles, Right On, In a Minute? What do you think about the new album? When do you think it is dropping? And do you agree with my theory that those are like the 2 sides of Baby that he wanted to showcase with these 2 tracks? All of that, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.